Okay. Hey everyone, it's Catherine with Titan Impact Group, and we have Laura here, which I'm really excited about to continue the conversation that we were having on Tuesday about, I think, one of the coolest topics for us to talk about, which is the world of quantum physics, which is very exciting. Um, it's just, I think this is probably some of the nerdiest things we can talk about, but it makes my heart sing. So we're going to talk about it.
Oh,
I'm interested in.
love it.
You're interested too. So, Laura, thank you for coming back. And I wanted to dive deeper into this conversation because, again, it came up on several more of my calls that I had in between Tuesday and today and having this conversation. And the
Beautiful.
importance of actually feeling into what it is we're wanting to create
Mhm.
and the power of these feelings. So, very excited. For those of you who didn't see the first one, you're going to want to go back and watch it because it's really, really freaking cool. It's on my, you can go to my YouTube page and it's on the playlist there. And so we're going to just continue this conversation. If any of you who are here have questions, please feel free to just put them in the chat. We're here to answer those and have a conversation with you. And for those of you who are watching the recording, you can also reach out and we can have conversations with you outside of this as well to answer any further questions and talk about other things. So, Laura, let's continue this conversation and talk about all of this because this is really freaking cool what we're talking about. So do you want to just jump in?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me on this and sharing this fun and amazing topic with everyone. Because when we really get to this point of presence, getting anchoring our body, just kind of a quick recap is bringing not just your scattered thought brain energy in your head, but like bringing it in to this beautiful white beam of light, bringing it into your heart, grounding it into your feet, anchoring it, which is so important. Is the one of the biggest steps that we tend to miss is that it's that full calibration. I love what's in this slide is it's the full calibration from head to toes into the ground. And when we do this, we come to this point of 0 point energy. It's also when we are just present to everything. And I love how you just said bringing the power to the feelings, because what we talked about in the first one was that our feelings and our heart is magnetic. So when we start opening our heart to feel the things, which by the way, sometimes we have to feel the yuck, it's not really fun, but understand if we can feel the pain, we can feel the greater love. We can feel the greater aspects of what we're doing. So it's about expanding that capacity, expanding that magnetic place of your heart, which is also your feelings. So when we get to that place, and Catherine, I also want to just bring this into really what you do from the wealth concept is how we're bringing our purpose of what we're doing in our lives to the forefront? Are we leading from the place of your heart? Are you leading from the place of love? Are you leading from the place of your passion and your purpose and what lights you up inside? Because even on a call earlier today, I go, one of the things lights me up is being out in nature. So it's about getting my time out in nature and allowing that to come.
Yeah, that's powerful. So it's interesting because it brings me back to my love of horses. And it's really fascinating that horses are a matriarchal society. They're
Yeah.
prey animals, are not predators. And so, how do they protect themselves? And when they graze, they have this field this energy field that they
Hmm.
have, and
Yeah.
they literally all the energy fields touch to each one of the horses. And what's so fascinating is as they're grazing, all their hearts will actually beat in unison. And then if somebody, like anybody in the herd, senses something that immediately needs to alert the rest of the herd, literally it's felt in a split second because they're all connected that way. Like, when I think about if horses are connected like that, how we are actually connected when we're actually listening to that part in ourselves and other people. like how powerful that is. And it's interesting because they say that women are very, very connected to horses, and it makes me wonder if this is like a piece of why that is. You know what I mean?
So, so I love that you brought this up. So there's a couple points here I'd love to make is that one, that we are all connected. This is why you're present, even when you don't say anything. Have you ever walked into a room and you felt the energy? It could be excitement or it could be blah. Okay. Nothing was said. You feel that energy within inside you. The same thing might be somebody that you find very powerful. They walk in a room and the whole dynamic changes. They don't do anything. They don't say anything, but somehow their energy completely shifts. And now going back to, I love how you brought up women do tend to be more, I'll say, energy sensitive. And especially when it comes to the feelings, is we tend to have that more of that intuitive, magnetic heart energy to start with. But when it also comes to the horses, they have such that connection. But if you are also one-on-one with a horse, they can sense exactly what you need and give you the healing energy that you need in the moment. So they essentially think of it this way. When we had that um, kind of slide, I think in the first one, where the energy flows back and forth between people. Think of it, even if you watch my hands right now, back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Because the horse is in sync with the humans, they move with you. Okay? It's not right? It becomes a beautiful flow, and that's why it becomes so powerful because they are so present with you. The horses become so present. And this is why when we learn how to focus on getting ourselves present, how we interact with people, how we interact when we're in traffic, how we interact with everything around us will start to change completely.
That's amazing. Yeah, huge. Um, it just makes me want to go spend more time with them.
Yeah. And the same thing too is I love to actually use dolphins. Okay, dolphins
Mm,
have sonar.
yeah,
Okay? It's electromagnetic waves. It's how they talk to each other. They're also matriarchal based.
yeah.
And I actually, because I live near the water, I have fun playing with dolphins and calling them in.
Wow. For real.
Mhm.
Wow.
And,
That's
and some,
okay. So that's a whole other thing that I want to talk about, and like how you do that. And what I'm sure you have amazing stories with that.
absolutely, absolutely.
That's
Where do you want
really
to go with
incredible.
that?
So it's interesting because that actually is a whole different like so when I was in Australia, I was
Hmm.
19 years old, and there was a beach on the west coast, north of Perth, called Monkey Maya, and literally
Okay.
dolphins. It was just a beach. That's all
Yeah.
it was. There
Yeah.
was no
Yeah.
theme park. There was nothing there. It was just a beach. And literally my experience was just standing in the water and being with them, all the dolphins came up. And I
Yeah.
never knew why. Right. And it's interesting because I had one of the most powerful experiences of my life with horses in that
mhm.
same area as well. So that's
So,
really interesting.
so a few things I'm picking up here is that one, I think the energy of that area you were in probably was also a vortex that this goes into probably a whole different realm of conversation. So combination of the energy of the land was heightened where you were. Your energy that already has a beautiful energy and it's already magnetic. And then the animals, so nature element. So you're playing with earth element, the animals, yourself, and you're bringing these all together into coherence. So
Wow.
this is, so when you think about it, this is quantum physics, really to a T, is that it's about being on the same wavelength of people, okay? So if something, I'm trying to use my screen. If something's up here and somebody else is down here, guess what? They don't collide, right?
Right.
Okay? But if you're up here and it's colliding, except for in your experience, you didn't have just one element, you had 3 or 4, and I'm sure several more that were all on that same energetic, the vibration, the same frequency that was all coming together in a beautiful coherence. So think about this too is another example is a musical instrument. When we think of an orchestra, it's a beautiful symphony that flows and comes together in these, ups and tones and so forth. But you can also tell if there's one instrument that's like completely off key or playing when they shouldn't be, it becomes obvious,
Right.
right? So what we are here to do and how I work with people is I train you on seeing that obvious message that what's not in tune and what is in tune, and then like let's get you back there. So when you had that story of the dolphins and the energy, the land and you and having this beautiful experience and also with the horses there, it's all coherence. It's all the
Wow.
beautiful high energy frequency coming together at the same time.
That is again, that's why I love all this this whole conversation. So the power of so okay, so let's dive into some of the questions because
Yeah.
know that as people watch this, like they're gonna
Mhm.
want I know they're gonna want to connect with you. And again, this is just a whole other higher level of a conversation, which is really
Mhm.
powerful. So let's go through some of these questions that people have asked.
Yeah.
These-
So when your mind never stops, come back to your breath, close your eyes. Our eyes actually get really strained being on electronics all the time. Close your eyes, just focus on your breath. Can you
Mm,
feel your breath coming in and out? Okay. The deeper steps, which we went into on the first one, is then noticing where your breath is. Is it shallow breathing, like here up? Is it belly breathing? Or can you practice breathing into your toes?
mm.
The next one is how will you know you're in 0 point?
Sorry.
The the 0 point is going to be when you are in a complete state of calm with nothing running through your mind, no past, future, no fearful future, past trauma, anything that's coming in that you can just notice complete calm in your body. Nothing's agitated. You can just bring that beautiful presence and you're not distracted by anything else. You just have complete feeling and complete calm within you.
And I think getting to that point, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, oh my goodness, trying to calm my mind with all the things racing 1,000 miles an hour, like I feel like that takes more discipline and muscle than anything else.
Absolutely. And here's the thing it's practice. It might be 1 second, it might be 5 seconds.
Right.
Okay. It might take time before you can get to that for a while. What actually happens with 0 point is that you want to get to a point where you're in flow and then you can be active in that flow. So you first have to get to the point of where you're in that present 0 point state. And then from that state, you can then actually direct where you're going. So that's kind of part two.
Love that. Okay. Let's go to the next one.
So when it does come to the point of the science behind it, quantum physics, Keeley, there's a number of quantum physicists, quantum mechanics that have actually been around for 100 plus years, going back to Tesla as well. And those kind of have the greater quantum physics aspects to it. When we start bringing it into the body coherence, Heart Math Institute has studies for over 30 plus years. Now, one of the things Heart Math focuses on is a lot between coherence between your head and your heart. What I talked about today was also bringing forward the idea of you also have to be grounded in your body and also down into your toes, okay?
Oh yeah, the wiggling of the toes you talked about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So it's kind of an extra step that most people don't talk about. But I will tell you something. This is what special forces get trained on. This is what the state that they have to be in to make split-second decisions with 50% of the information.
Right.
Because they're so present with everything that's around, all possible scenarios to make those split-second decisions.
Right.
Special forces have been around for a while and they do a pretty good job.
I mean, that's yeah. That just I love the practicality of how it gets used. This is like really really powerful. Well,
Mm-hmm.
and then going back to the next question is I'm slammed, how much time is enough time? So it's interesting, like you just said, like the special forces, they only have 50% of the information they gotta like in a split second. Right. So it literally is that
Yeah.
amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hours and hours and hours or days, weeks, months. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really interesting. And it's the I assert that when you're working with people, like literally you're training them to get like faster and faster and more honed in. Um, where they want to be. Is that accurate?
Absolutely, because the first part is understanding all the parts of you that's going on because it's not just your brain. There's environment aspects, there's your heart, could be your ankles, your knees, other people in your environment. Just as you started, it was like, hey, we need to shut the door, make sure nobody's coming in and out. It's about bringing a, multiple different aspects together. And I do have um a short assessment that I have for people that's all about presence. And you get to rate yourself kind of where you are on this. And the idea is when we can start bringing all of these different facets together. I mean, some people need to open up their heart more, but their heads are fine. Some people need to close their minds more and get rid of the distractions, but open up their hearts. So everybody's in a different kind of category. But
Right.
the idea is it is about first understanding where you are. The next steps are bringing all of the different pieces together and then honing in, because when you start to hone in, you can start discerning the information that you're receiving. Because
Right.
until you're honed in, you can be getting information from everywhere and you don't really, if you're in fight or flight, everything's survival mode.
Right.
Well, like the pen just dropped on the floor, like you're not getting hurt right now.
Right.
So when we start to get to the point where you're present, and then you can start to discern information, and I can even tell you even more is that people who are very empathic, they take on other people's energies.
Mm,
So you can actually have other people's energies on you. And that's again, that's whole kind of a whole nother conversation, but
right.
you don't know where the information's coming from. So it's about getting present, and then I call it discerning and deciphering the information, deeper information coming in, and then honing in on it even more. And you just start walking around in a beautiful way, and you know exactly where to go, and you navigate uncertainty with clear precision.
I love this. And I think about like as we learn more and as we get ourselves elevated to the next level of whatever that looks like, how powerful this is. In
Yeah.
imagine if like our society was present at that level, right? Like the level of healing and understanding and I mean, there's just so much that's beautiful to this. And obviously, with the world of investing and, just family and communication and relationships, like this just affects absolutely every single level. So this is, I love this conversation so much. You had mentioned that you have an assessment that they can take. So I would love to you to tell them like where they can go to get this assessment, because I think people are going to be very interested in like learning more about this and like how can they, tap into all of this, because this is really powerful.
Yeah, so as part of the what scheduling a one-on-one clarity call with me, we'll we can go over the assessment at that time because it is a little bit more in depth. It's very easy to go through, but there are 7 distinct sections. And again, we just want to figure out where you are so we can start prioritizing what's most important to work on. Because as I said earlier, everybody's in a different spot. Some of us are good in one area, some of us are good in another area. Sometimes some people have a lot of work to do, and some people just need to hone in on a few areas.
That's incredible. So how do they get a hold of you?
Can I drop it in the
Yeah. So you
chat?
can, here's what we're gonna do. I will, so yes, you can drop it in the chat because we have people here. And you're gonna send it to me because I'm going to post it in the comments and in the description so that as people are watching the recording or anything, they can get a hold of you there. Because this is
Great.
powerful stuff. I think that again, more and more people who get in touch with this and get trained and masterful at this, there's just a whole ripple effect that we have no idea how magical this will be for the world.
And that's the thing is it is magical. And if I can share my mission
Please.
with everyone, is it's to teach 237 million people to trust their inner direct knowing. And when we trust ourselves, and as I said before, that discerning, that deciphering on what we're receiving, and we can make decisions appropriately regarding it, we will change this world completely
That's powerful. I
because we're operating from a state of complete presence.
Incredible. I love this. Okay. Anything else you'd love to share with everybody here and anybody that's watching the recording?
Um, Notice your presence and how you show up to the world.
Mm,
Okay. How you're showing up in listening to this right now? Are you distracted doing other things? Are you just listening to this? How are you showing up in your relationships? When we start to show up present, everything in life will change.
right? Yeah. I love that. Well, you're an extraordinary human being, and I'm so, so, so happy that our circles have crossed over. It turns out we're in multiple circles together. I love
Yeah.
that, which is so
And
cool.
such an honor to share this with you and your audience this week.
Yeah,
Truly, we both get super excited in talking about this because it's a complete game changer. So
it really is.
thank
It
you.
really is. Yeah, thank you. This is amazing. Again, I'll put all the contact information in. And Laura, I know you and I are going to have more conversations and do deeper dives into all of this because this is just fascinating. So, tomorrow is Independence Day. I hope you have an extraordinary weekend. And
Thank you. You too.
we will be connecting and taking this to deeper levels. So, with that, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everybody who is here. And I hope you all have a magnificent weekend. And we'll see you next week. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
Bye, love.
Bye bye.